Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to learn about the homeostasis. Homeostasis basically is the maintenance of internal environment. And in this video, you will be checking out that what homeostasis is what the basic principle behind the homeostasis, what is the negative feedback loop, what the organs are involved in it, and the glucose level maintenance, osmoregulation, water potential maintenance, temperature regulation, thermoregulation, they are included in your syllabus, and we will be doing the past paper practice as well. Homeostasis, the basic definition is that it is the maintenance of constant internal environment. And you all are very much well familiar that the tissue fluid that is being formed at the arteriolar end, that is making up your internal environment. So what are the things which are required to be controlled? Because you all know that our body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. We are having a specific water potential inside our blood and the tissue fluids. That is required for the best optimum activity of the enzyme. Enzyme work best at a particular temperature. They are needing water for their activation, and along with that, they work best at a particular pH. So for the working of enzyme inside a normal, during a normal metabolism, for the homeostasis, you all will be requiring a particular constant condition on which the cells are going to work their best. Okay, what these conditions are, let's see. If enzymes, they are controlling the metabolic or anabolic catabolic reactions inside your body. So ultimately, they will be requiring a specific temperature, pH, and the water potential. If there is any change in these three conditions, ultimately, the working will be affected. Reaction will not be taking place at a particular rate, particular pace. So how the enzymes are working at a temperature and a particular pH, that is shown over here. That comprehensive video is uploaded on the working of enzyme. That is also uploaded. So you can go and check it over there as well. But right now I am just telling you that this is the pH on which the different enzymes are working. That is the pH about that is 2 pH on which in 2.5 on which this enzyme X will be working best, and this is the about 7 pH, almost neutral pH. The other enzyme will be working on this, and these are the temperature on which the enzymes will be working with their optimum rate of reaction. And why we are interested in maintaining the pH and the temperature? Because of the enzyme activity. Remember one thing, whenever there is a high fever, the temperature of body is beyond that 37 degrees Celsius. So ultimately enzyme working will be affected, and that can lead towards the fatal consequences. So how the pH on the blood is going to be changed whenever there is respiration, carbon dioxide is being produced, that is acidic gas forming carbonic acid. So ultimately enzyme will be having altered pH on which they have to work. So definitely that will affect their working. Why the water potential is important, I will be referring it towards the chapter movement of substances. Plant and animal cells are shown to you people whenever there is an isotonic solution. That is, the cell is in the same condition in which inside and outside the conditions are almost the same. So there is no effect on the net movement of the molecules and whatever. But whenever the cell is in the hypertonic condition, plasmolysis occur in the plant and crenation occur in the animal cell. Whenever there is hypotonic solution, plant cell will become turgid, animal cell will become burst. So this is very much important, that why your water potential in the tissue fluid should be maintained within a narrow limits. This is again the description of hypotonic, hypertonic, and isotonic solutions along with the plant and animal cell in these solutions. Okay, next, you all are very much familiar that the tissue fluid or extracellular fluid that is surrounding your all the cells, and its concentration matters for the homeostasis, and it should be kept within the narrow limits. And homeostasis basically involves the negative feedback mechanism. So what is the principle behind that? homeostasis, you will be requiring a stimulus. Stimulus is any change in the environmental condition, either internal or external. Fine. In case of homeostasis, definitely that will be the internal change. There will be receptors which are going to detect that particular stimulus. There will be a corrective mechanism which will be taking the condition towards the normal or towards the set point. And the negative feedback will be sent to the receptor that stop doing more corrective mechanism, that is no more needed because correction or set point has been attained. So these are the four main principal points for the homeostasis. Okay, so what will happen if the condition is any condition, general condition is rising above the normal? That is a normal condition or the set point. That is a keyword, set point. Normal condition is the keyword that should be in your answer. Examiner will be appreciating the set point word. Okay, if that is stimulus is responsible for changing it above the normal level, what will happen? Receptor will detect that change and self-regulatory corrective mechanism will be initiated. And then what will happen? Condition will be decreased towards the normal or the set point, not beyond that. Okay. And that is when the condition is decreased, mean that has been reached at the set point, negative feedback is sent toward the receptor for stop producing the corrective mechanism. Okay, and what will happen if the condition is going to be decrease below the normal condition? Ultimately, receptor will be detecting that stimulus, corrective mechanism will be occurring, which will be causing the increase in the condition towards the set point, and the condition negative feedback will be sent to the receptor for stop producing the corrective mechanism. Okay, now that is a particular definition of negative feedback. You can have the screenshot of it. Negative feedback means whenever a condition, whenever a change occurs in a body, self-regulatory corrective mechanism starts automatically to reverse the condition, to reverse the change towards the normal or the set point condition. When the set point condition is attained, the corrective mechanism stops as it is no more needed. That is a comprehensive, detailed description of the negative feedback. Oftenly that can be asked in the examination, so you may have a screenshot of the slide. Okay, now what organs are involved? The picture shows you people that brain is the main organ which is involved. Then is the pancreas. In my previous video, that was about the regulating the glucose level. That was a short, and about the hormones, I have given a detailed description of the pancreas working. So kidneys are over there, which are going to control your water potential in the blood body, and along with that the skin that is having thermoregulation because it is having the thermoreceptors on it. So now coming towards, if the glucose conditions are going to be increased, then what will happen? That is above the normal condition. Pancreas is having the islet of Langerhans, which are having the receptor for the increased glucose concentration. And what will happen that they will be releasing the insulin into the blood. Insulin further will be increasing the permeability of the cell. Cell membrane permeability will be increased. Glucose uptake of the cell will be increased. And ultimately, liver and muscle cell, they will be converting extra glucose into the glycogen. And ultimately, the condition will be glucose level will be decreased in the blood. That conditions are taken toward the normal, and the negative feedback is sent from the decreased glucose level because of the insulin production towards the receptor that stop producing furthermore insulin because correction has been done. So that is the negative feedback loop. Then when the glucose is decreased, then what will happen? Glucose decreased concentration in the blood is the stimulus that will be detected by the islet of Langerhans of the pancreas, which will be releasing this time the glucagon. Glucagon, what that is going to do, that is going to increase the glucose level by converting glycogen into the glucose that will be entered into the blood, and hence blood glucose concentration will be restored towards a normal, and this is the negative feedback. Okay, next about the regulating the water potential, my favorite topic, that is the osmoregulation. When you people are intaking water in larger amounts, that water potential of the blood will be increasing above the normal condition. What will happen? Hypothalamus in the brain will be detecting the stimulus because it is having the receptor. The corrective mechanism related to the pituitary gland for the release of antidiuretic hormone will be initiated, less ADH will be produced, and then ultimately ADH is related with the reabsorption of water in the tubules, kidney tubules or the renal tubules of the nephron. So less water will be reabsorbed. It means that more water is going to pass out in the urine. Urine will be more dilute. Okay. And due to this more urine production, the water potential of the blood will be decreased. That will be taken towards the normal condition, and that is the negative feedback from decreased water potential at the normal condition, at the set point condition. Further, more receptors are being stopped to produce the less ADH. Okay, whenever your body is going to lose the water in form of sweating or any other condition, or dehydration हो रही है body में, like you people are having severe diarrhea as well because of cholera, Vibrio cholera. So that is again stimulus detected by the brain, hypothalamus, which will be instructing the pituitary to release more and more ADH. So ultimately, more water will be reabsorbed by the kidney tubules. And then what will happen? Less urine will be produced, less water will be excreted in the urine, amount of urine volume will be decreased, more concentrated or darker urine will be produced. So water potential ultimately of the blood will be increased towards the normal, and that is the negative feedback from the increased water potential of blood towards the receptor. So I really love my this slide. I have made it specially for my students to remember the link of increased water potential with that of the ADH levels. Oftenly I also get sometimes confused के जो water potential increase हुआ है तो ADH ज़्यादा होगा या कम होगा. So आपने arrows की direction याद रखनी है. The guard arrows which are at the end, they are in same direction, and the sandwich arrows are in the same direction. And this direction will be opposite to that of the guard arrows. So the two arrows at the border arrows कह लें, guard arrows कह लें, they are having pointed upward. It means that is showing that this arrow is for increased water potential in blood. And ultimately जिस तरह water potential ज्यादा होगा, urine production भी ज्यादा होगी. कैसे ज्यादा होगी? Less ADH will be released, less water will be reabsorbed by the renal tubules, ultimately more urine will be produced. और आपने इसको vice versa कर लेना है, opposite कर लेना है, reverse कर लेना है, और आपने labeling in arrows की ऐसे ही रखनी है. If there is decreased water potential, then more ADH, more water reabsorption, and less urine will be over there. Okay, so I hope that this idea will be helping you a lot. Please do appreciate me on that. I really love my this work. Okay, that is the diagram from your book. You can have a quick look. That is the same what I have already told you. Okay, now coming toward the skin, how the skin is in playing its part in homeostasis. That is the largest organ of the body, and it is having the sense receptor for the touch, thermo, and many other pain pressure receptors are over there. So that is a barrier between the internal and external environment, and that is going to regulate your body temperature. The 5 main functions of the skin are that is acting as a barrier against infectious diseases and the pathogen to get enter whenever that is intact. जब जुड़ी हुई है, intact है, no cut is over there, that is going to prevent the entry of the microorganism inside the body, hence controlling the infections. So it is also involved in regulating your body temperature through sweat production. It is going to remove the waste from your body, such as less amount of urea is being produced in the sweat, and that is also involved in providing protection against the UV radiation from the sun. It is also involved in the production of vitamin D. Okay, let's have a look of the main parts of the skin and their names and their functions. First one is the epidermis, that is the dead layer, outermost layer, and it is having these functions. It is waterproof, water resistant, so that is preventing the evaporation of the water from the skin. So you people are going to be prevented from the dehydration or excessive water loss. As it is dead, it is going to prevent you from the germ entry, and it is the layer which is protecting inner layers from the mechanical injury. Then it comes the dermis. Dermis is rich in the blood vessel, hairs are over there, sweat gland is there, sense receptors are there, and sebaceous glands are there. These are the two sebaceous glands which are linked with the hair. Every hair is having two spacious glands. Spacious glands are going to produce the sebum, that is the oily secretion. That's why you people face कि आपके फेस के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा ऑयल आ जाता है sometime because of the overproduction of the sebum in the sebaceous gland or overactivity of the sebaceous gland. But remember that sebum is antimicrobial, that is going to prevent you from the microorganisms. Subcutaneous fat, that is a fatty layer over there that is serving the function of the insulating layer. That is very much good for the preventing the heat loss from your body. Now, relationship of skin and the brain. Skin is going to control the body temperature because it is having the receptor, thermoreceptors over there. Many receptors are shown to you people. And the brain, that is having the thermoregulatory center, which is known as the hypothalamus. Here I am showing you people the location of the pituitary gland, that is the master gland, that is just the size of the pea. Hypothalamus is just above it. And now coming towards the heat production and the heat loss, there should be a balance between the heat gain and the heat loss. If that balance is not going to be maintained, ultimately enzymatic activity or your internal environment is going to be disturbed. So how your body is going to gain heat? There are 5 mechanisms: with the help of metabolism, with the help of hot food, with the help of exercise from the external environment. You people can gain the heat. And if you people are not going to maintain your definitely the heat gain and the heat loss, ultimately your body will be suffering because metabolism will get altered. And you should know that heat is produced in the metabolic regions, and the liver is main metabolic organ, so most of the heat is being produced over there, and that is distributed to all of the parts through the blood is transporting the heat as well. So next is, if you people are not going to control the heat, you can die because of overheating. And these are the mechanism how your body is going to lose the heat: through your skin in the form of evaporation, radiation, conduction, and convection; through the air current, through the radiation, and through the conduction, direct contact with the surface, and evaporation from your skin surface. But your epidermis is protecting, preventing this evaporation much more. And along with that, you people have the evaporation of your sweat. Heat can also be lost in the form of in the feces and along with the urine. In the expired air, heat is also being lost, and that is the thermoregulation. If the temperature is going to be increased, ultimately you have to lose it so that you can take the condition towards the normal. And if the condition, you people, the body temperature is getting lower, heat must be produced or must be gained so that condition are taking towards the normal and the set point is going to be attained. So you can have a screenshot of it. I am going to tell you the detailed description of this thermoregulation. Let's start. What happens on a hot day? The blood and the skin temperature will be rising, and the thermoreceptors in the skin and hypothalamus both will be stimulated. What will happen? Skin and brain, they are going to start a corrective mechanism. What that is? Vasodilation of the arterioles near skin surface, increased production of sweat, increased rate of breathing, metabolic rate decreases, and these are going to increase the increased heat loss is being done and reduced heat production. Metabolic rate decrease होगा, ultimately heat कम produce होगी. Increased rate of breathing है, you people are going to exhale, so आपके पास that heat is going to be lost. Okay, increased production of sweat, that is going to control the you can say the heat in form of the heat is being lost in the through latent heat of vaporization. And vasodilation, that is ultimately more blood is flowing toward the skin. Conduction, convection, radiation के through आपका heat loss हो जाएगा. Okay, body temperature will be decreased. When the body temperature is decreased, means that is taken toward the normal condition and the negative feedback happens. So that is the vasodilation. Arterioles are going to be dilated. Okay, ji, when the arterioles are going to be dilated, it means that more blood will be flowing through the capillaries. So more heat will be lost. Meanwhile, whenever the more blood is flowing through the capillaries, the shunt vessels, they are going to be constricted. And ultimately, whenever the heat is blood is taking the heat towards the skin surface, greater heat loss will be done. I hope the point is clear. Okay जी, next आपके पास second point है increase production of sweat. ज़्यादा sweat produce होगा तो ultimately latent heat of vaporization होगी, and that latent heat is removed when sweat evaporates. You have to use the word latent heat in your answer. Okay, reduced metabolism, आपके पास heat कम produce होगी. And about the hair erector muscle, they are not much more effective in case of human, but in case of feathery or furry animals like birds, and in case of bears, that is more important. So they are going to lie the flat ones straight हो जाएंगे, skin के साथ attach होंगे. So ultimately they are not going to trap the air, which is the bad conductor of heat. So ultimately, whenever they are lying flat, so air will be circulating over the skin and heat will be removed through the convection. Now, what happens on a cold day? The temperature of the body is being decreased. Receptor will be detecting it. Again, brain and skin are the having receptor for it. Corrective mechanism will happen. Vasoconstriction of the arterioles near the skin, that will be happening. Decreased production of sweat. Increased metabolic rate, shivering hogi, and heat will be produced in this mechanism, and heat will be less lost. ठीक है जी, or lost less. Body temperature will be rise towards the normal and the set point is maintained, and that is how the negative feedback is going to happen. So that is, the arterioles are very much squeezed, shunt vessels are dilated, capillaries are having less blood flow. See, the heat is being less lost from the skin surface. ठीक है जी, so you can have a screenshot of this slide as well. So vasoconstriction is very much important because more blood is flowing through the shunt vessel that is not facing towards the skin surface, so less heat is being lost. Okay. Then next is decrease sweat production. स्वेट कम प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है. अल्टीमेटली अगेन आपने डिस्कस करना है लेटेंट हीट को, दैट इज टेकिंग लेस लेटेंट हीट इज बीइंग रिमूव्ड व्हेन द स्वेट इवेपोरेट्स. देन थर्ड मैकेनिज्म इज इंक्रीज मेटाबॉलिक रेट, and you can see that metabolic rate is going to be increase in such a way that heat is going to be produced inside your body. That's why in winter season you people have the craving of eating more and more, so that more food is over there, and that can be metabolized and more heat is being produced. Along with that, sometime whenever you people are sleeping in a chilled rooms, sometime you feel the shivering, एकदम से body shiver करती है, muscles की quick instant contraction and relaxations होती हैं, so that muscles are going to contract and relax and heat is going to be produced instantly. So that is how your body is going to gain the heat or retain the heat, or that is preventing you from the cold. Last is contraction of the hair erector muscle. When the hair erector muscle, they are going to contract, hair will be straightening or standing up like this. Goosebumps or goose pimple will be observed. And there you should be very much clear that whenever the hairs are erected in this form, they are going to trap the air between them, among them. इनके बीच में air trap हो जाएगी between the ears, between the hair, air is being trapped. Okay, so जब air trap हो जाएगी, what will happen here? जो air है, that is a bad conductor of heat, so ultimately that is serving as a insulating layer of the warm air over the skin, so heat is not going to be lost. So hair erection is more effective in feathery or furry animals, that is less effective in human. And you might have observed the goosebumps or the goose pimple whenever you people feel cold. Okay, now let's start with the practice questions. What happens when the body temperature rises above the normal? जी जनाब, आर्ट्रियोल्स आपको मैंने बताया नियर स्किन सरफेस दे शुड बी. व्हाट हैपन व्हेन द बॉडी टेम्परेचर राइजेस अबव नॉर्मल? आपके आर्ट्रियोल्स डायलेट होने चाहिए सो दैट मोर हीट इज गोइंग टू बी लॉस्ट, सो टू dilated, and what will happen? Sweat production, yes, that is going to be increased, so right option is C. And in this case, the question is, which part of the brain control the body temperature? You all are very much well familiar that hypothalamus is the thermoregulatory center, so that is going to control the body temperature. Okay, next. Sorry, next is, when the temperature of the air is higher than the body temperature, which of these control mechanism can help to maintain a constant body temperature? जी जनाब. So what is the right answer? When the temperature of the air is higher, it means बाहर ज़्यादा hot है, ठीक है. Temperature of air is higher than body, and your body is comparatively at low. So what will happen? Vasoconstriction of the blood vessel, will that happen? Will that shivering and will the sweating will happen? Yes, please do comment me in the answer section. Yes, hurry up. I'm waiting for your answers. Okay. So the answer is D. Right answer is D. ठीक है, next की तरफ बढ़ते हैं. The diagram shows the structure of the human skin. Which labels describe structure Y and structure Z in hot condition? Y is the sweat gland and that Z is the arteriole. So right option will be yes. What will happen? आपके पास जो है hot condition में sweat की production, that will be active. Yes, that is going to be active. ठीक है, sweat active हो जाएगा and the Z will be dilated. ठीक है जी. Okay, next is, which process is not a result of negative feedback? G. A decrease in surrounding temperature leads to decrease in respiration rate. A decrease in surrounding temperature leads to the decrease in sweating, that is homeostasis. A decrease in the surrounding temperature leads to a decrease in the blood flow through the skin surface, that is homeostasis. A decrease in surrounding temperature leads towards shivering, that is homeostasis. So right answer is A, that the temperature is having a decrease surrounding temperature that don't have a link with the decreased respiration rate, that don't have. Okay, so next question is, which part of the skin are involved in the control of body temperature? Yes, sweat gland, thermoreceptor, and blood, all these three are. Right answer is A. Next is the question over here. What are the responses of decreased body temperature? Shivering and vasoconstriction? Yes. Shivering and vasodilation? No. Sweating? No. Vasoconstriction? Yes. Sweating? No. Vasodilation? That is, what is the right answer? No. Whenever you people are having the decreased temperature, how the vasodilation can happen? The answer is A. Okay, let's move toward the next question. What helps heat retention in the human body? Actively secreting sweat glands, heat retention. They are talking about the heat retention. Dilated blood vessel in the near the skin surface? No. Fat in and under the skin? Yes. The right answer is C. The next question is, which part of the skin has a major role in the insulation ultimately? That is the fatty tissue, that is the adipose tissue. Right answer is B. Let's move toward the next question. Which structures are all involved in controlling human body temperature? A blood vessel near the skin surface, cerebellum. Cerebellum to nahi hota. Remove this option. Hypothalamus, yes, that is involved. Skeletal muscle, they do the shivering. And blood vessel near the skin surface, these are the capillaries. Yes, the right answer seems to be the B, but before that, check the C and D. Kidneys, they are not involved in the temperature. Cerebellum is not involved. And again, the kidney over here. So right option is B. Next question is, Ji, Janab, that is a question that is about the negative feedback system. Just have a look and do mention in the comment section that what can be the right answer. Okay, so there is the more water in the urine. What will happen ultimately? Water in the blood is falling, and then less urine will be produced, then that is water in the blood will be rising, more water in the urine again. So what is the right answer? That is the definitely that is, it decreases the amount of water. No. It increases any change. No. It increases the amount of water in the blood. No. It reverses any change. Basically, that is the negative feedback they are asking about here. So it is reversing any change in the amount of water in the blood. So students, I hope that you have liked my video. So that's all for today. I am having large number of questions ahead, but we will be discussing these questions later, inshallah ta'ala. So please do tell me that how was the video, and please give me thumbs up, do comment, please subscribe my channel, और क्या कहना था, press the bell icon, ठीक है? So thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and please do share the videos with your friends so that they can get benefit if that is beneficial. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.